To start our second session, I would just ask the gentlemen to take their seats or just wait for the moment to join me on the stage. Just before that, those who are sitting in the behind, I would kindly ask you, if possible, if it doesn't make you feel very uncomfortable, just please come closer to the stage. Սիրելի ներկաներ, եթե իհարկե ձեզ շատ մեծ դժվարություն չի պատճառի, խնդրում ենք մի փոքր մոտենալ մեր բեմահարթակին։ Շատ լավ։ Քանի դեռ հյուրերը հավաքվում են, while people are still coming to our hall, let me tell that we're going to touch an important topic about Arca, our national payment system. Just before I invite here the moderator, let's just wait for 1 or 2 more minutes, just to make sure that everyone has taken their seats. Սիրելի ներկաներ, կխնդրեմ հնարավորինս արագ զբաղեցնել ձեր տեղերը. Дамы и господа, пожалуйста, займите свои места, мы уже начинаем. All right. So, as mentioned before, we're starting our second session, which is a panel discussion. And the panel discussion topic is the following: Arca, development of the country's national payment system. And the moderator of the event is Ara Chalabian, the president of IIA Armenia, chairman, Arad Bank Audit Committee. Ara Chalabian will present his own panelists. Dear Ara, please, where you are, please join me here on the stage. Hi. Հարգանքներս։ Բարև ձեզ։ Համեցեք, այ։
Shall I invite or present? Okay, I would like to invite to the panel Mr. Vartan Khachaturian, CEO Armenian Card. Mr. David Skudadze, Country Manager, MasterCard, Georgian Armenia. Mr. Ritesh Shukla, CEO, MPCI International Payments Limited. Please welcome. And Mr. Denis Paramonov, Business Development Director, UnionPay International. So imagine you wake up tomorrow and Arca is not working. I think we have witnessed few times this year, and there's usually a panic. Everyone imagining the end of the world, so we don't get our salaries, we cannot pay in the stores, in the gas stations, utilities, we cannot put deposits, etc. So usually we see physical infrastructures like roads, bridges, which are also, by the way, full nowadays and half functioning. But Arca on the payment system is non-visible but very critical infrastructure nowadays. And today with Vartan, David, Ritesh and Denis, we are going to explore where our payment systems are heading. And I would like to start with Vartan. Would you, Vartan, define or present how Arca is transforming? You have gone through 25 years of establishment, and now, as I see from your steps, starting from rebranding, but also with a lot of international cooperation, new projects like Arca Pay and QR, where are you heading?
Hello everyone. Thank you, Ara. Thank you, colleagues. It's a very interesting question. Today we will talk about, I think, more about the Arca and the Arca payment system. I want to mention that Arca also not only the payment system. Arca is a payment infrastructure in Armenia also, because these 25 years established by the Central Bank of Armenia and the commercial banks of Armenia. They established Armenian Card, and at this time the Arca has now only one payment system, Arca processing system. Arca also have the second 1 year old payment instant system called Arca Pay. These 25 years, Arca gives the financial market more payment solutions, starting from the card solutions, starting from, I don't know, for integration for Apple Pay, Google Pay, POS, certification of POS terminals, ATMs, and so on. And nowadays, our team giving the payment system more value-added services from the cards, I don't know, from the instant payment systems. And about 1 month ago, we launched our new unified QR system. It's called Arca QR. And now our whole team is working hard to have a more integration with international payment systems. Our colleagues, Ritesh is here. About 1 month ago, we have signed agreement in Mumbai in GFF, in Global FinTech Festival, yes. And this year, our shareholders approved our new strategy about for 5 years. In strategy, we mentioned and we fixed our vision. Our vision should be a reliable and innovative national payment system. And for the missions, we fixed that to ensure secure and continuity payment system. It's very important for us because we want to have availability in our all payment systems in Tier 3. Nowadays, our availability is not in lower side. It's very high, starting from 99 and point. That's all, and I want to my colleagues talk about the Arca with the Arca cooperations. After that, I will
Let
tell
me have
more
some
about
follow-up questions before we turn to colleagues. So 5 years for a strategy in nowadays it's quite a long time. And I often see top managers scaring even for a 3-year plan. How did you come up with 5-year plan?
We come up in 5-year strategy plan, but we know that we will change something
So you
after
revise
year
it?
by year. Yes,
Yes.
it will revise. Yes, we
But
have
do you know,
such
like
a discussion
in 5
with
years
our
what you are going
shareholders.
to have?
Yeah, we want to have a sovereign payment system in Armenia, and the Arca should make that. And if we want to revise something in strategy, we will have such a discussion with our shareholders. We talk about that with them, and I think it will be it's good for to have a strategy for 5 years, and if you can revise it in by year.
Okay, thank you, thank you. I would like to turn now to David. And I would ask you to elaborate how MasterCard is cooperating or collaborating with national or local systems.
It's really a pleasure to be here. And for sure, we are working with local, especially with Arca. Already this partnership has started, I think, decades and decades ago. And we see nowadays more and more different players are coming up to the markets, and every country has its own dynamics. We, as a big global company, for sure, should also satisfy local needs. And I see that Arca is a flagship in this direction, and we'd like to support them. First of all, as a global brand, we are in frontiers of new technologies, and we'd like to, together with Arca, bring these technologies to Armenia, and it helping us to deploy it in a really fast and efficient way. And other things, for sure, that we see that lot of regional bridges is building now. and different kind of user experience. Each of the country has its own dynamics, and at that front also we see that it's good point to create something unique, to create a collaborative approach instead of to be really focus only, like for example, card payments. Yeah, we also really dynamic company. We understand these dynamics that each country has its own, and we eager to like play in this game and create the value first of all.
Thank you. I would now turn to Denise. So Arca is collaborating with MasterCard for already quite a while. And UnionPay, I think, is relatively new collaboration. How do you see that collaboration, and can you draw parallels between other systems in our region, CIS or Eastern Europe?
Hello, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank organizers for welcoming us here, and especially to Armenian Card. It's a real pleasure to be in this society today. And as for your question, we started cooperation with Armenian Card quite recently, but we have already achieved significant results on the market with the great help of Arca. And from my own experience being responsible for a number of countries in Central Asia region and Caucasus region, there are different options of local payment system existence. In some cases, it could be just a local switch, as in Kazakhstan, for instance. But if we talk about Armenian market, Arca is a full-scale payment system, providing not only processing services to the customers, but also performs main functions of the country bank system, like issuance, marketing, customer targeting, and all this stuff. So I think that the synergy between international payment systems and local payment system can bring very impressive results. And I think that with the help of Arca, we will achieve great success on the Armenian market.
And do we have other collaborations in the region?
We have collaboration in Uzbekistan with both local payment systems, Uzcard and Humo. We actually, around the world, we have lots of collaborations with local payment systems and with international payment systems as well.
Anything specific with Arca you would mention?
I would like to keep it in secret
Private.
at the moment.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
later on today maybe we will
Okay.
reveal the things, and we have some interesting news for you, but I think it will take place a bit later.
It will be surprise today.
Okay, so we are looking forward for some surprises. And Ritesh, since India has built its national platform, how important is to have local control over payment systems?
Thank you, Ara. Before I answer your question, I think I would like to thank Arca and Central Bank of Armenia for inviting me here. It's been around 24 hours in Yerevan, and I've enjoyed every moment of it. Beautiful people and great food. So thank you for the opportunity. Now, coming to your question, Ara, I think in today's time, if you see, it is very important to have your sovereign payment systems, and I think that's what Vardhan and Arca under Vardhan's leadership is trying to do. The reasons, as I see, are two primary reasons, if you see. One is the geopolitics of it. You know how some of the payment systems have been weaponized recently, and some countries found it very challenging to support their citizens to pay when overseas. So I think that's very, very important. And geopolitics is continuing to evolve. I think we are living in a very volatile world, so many things happening all around us. The second thing, and at least from our experience in India, we are the largest country by population, 1.4 billion people. And for a long time, we were dependent on international card schemes to drive our digital payments agenda. But when you give control to international players who are primarily driven by profit, and rightly so, because their shareholders want them to be profitable. So the limit or the impact that they have is very limited. So in India, before my organization came into existence, that was in 2008, the digital payments was in top 8-10 cities, but in our country, 65% of people live in villages. Now, how do you create an impact? So you need to take control of some of these things. And today, the organization that I'm representing, NPCI, it's owned by 65 entities, banks and fintechs. Banks are Indian banks, foreign banks, and fintechs. We have created multiple platforms today that are ensuring that every Indian today has access to digital payments. And the result of it is for everyone to see. Last month was a festive month in India. There were days we were processing 750 million transactions in a day. 750 million transactions in a day. The largest payment network in the world has at its best day processed 639 million. So we are processing 100 million transactions, more than the largest card payment network in the world. That payment company is about 60, 70 years old. We are 18 years old company, 17 years old company. So you can very well imagine the impact that we've had. We have democratized payments in the country. Every Indian has access to digital payments now. And this is creating a lot of value in economy. To highlight some macroeconomic factors, we have the best tax collection because we are formalizing economy. If you visit India, you will see that nobody carries cash now. Everybody is on digital payments. We are using QRs to make payment. So our tax collections are at the best. Highest every quarter we make a new mark. We are ensuring access to credit to smaller businesses who were taking cash only for a long time, but now they are taking digital payments. So banks have a way to see their receivable, their transaction history, and banks are giving them credit to expand their businesses. So there is a lot of advantage and value in having your own sovereign payment systems. And I think in India, we have shown it in a very, very good way. And I think it's a success story for the whole developing world to look at and embark on.
You actually addressed most of my next question, which was how did you get to the democratization and massive adoption of payment systems in India? For 1.4 billion people, it's quite a challenging task.
Just to add, UPI, as we call our instant payment platform, is the second most active network in the country. And the first is WhatsApp, because that's the messaging app. So I think 700 million people use WhatsApp, and about 500 million people use UPI. So that's the adoption, and I think we are only growing. Every month we do better than the last month. So it's a great success story for developing countries to see and be inspired by.
So everything is done through mobile phone, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's mobile phone, but both smartphone as well as feature phone. You can use feature phone also to make payments on UPI rails.
Okay, great. So, Vartan, what are the lessons we can draw from India for Armenia to even deepen the financial inclusion?
Thank you, colleagues, for good wishes and words. About the question, as I mentioned, we will do cooperation with NPCI. I think about 1 or 2 months or 3 months later, we will have we can send the monies instantly to the Indian bank accounts. It will be integration with the UPI system with Arca Pay. After that, the second phase should be, and we have more discussion also today with our colleagues with NPCI, that all Indian banking applications and payment institutions applications can scan our Arca QRs and pay. It would be the second phase, and today in today's meeting we have discussion more about that, as Ritesh mentioned, about the WhatsApp. It's very interesting, and I think in January our team members should go to the Mumbai headquarter of MPCI and to know how it will be, how that integration should be. I think it's a good opportunity and good development should be in Arca that, as I mentioned, Arca provide more secure, fast and innovative payment solution to our customers and our merchants.
Do you measure the numbers, like how many people in Armenia are using payments? What is the potential? What is the growth rate?
Yeah, in Armenia, when we launched the Arca Pay system 1 year ago, and nowadays the Arca transferring the money from in Arca Pay system, there is no commission, and many transactions from card system going to our Arca Pay because they're all transfers and payments going from the bank accounts and to bank accounts, and the Arca Pay system is growing daily. It's a very impressive growth that we saw every day. And in numbers, I want to say that about daily about 5 or already 6 million transfers going through the Armenian card system.
My question is maybe we have, or how many we have people who are non-bankable, like who don't have bank accounts?
I think
can we bring them into the payments?
I think up 18 years citizens in Armenia, everybody has a banking account, but more people's already using their cards, wallets, and I think everybody uses, but we have a little bit share that giving the cash from the ATMs, and we are doing more works that they are not using that cash, because from the 1st of January, each customer is Armenian citizens. When they use their Arca card, they will give 2% cashbacks. It's a new project, big projects from Arca and from government.
Okay, great. And Ritesh, in your case, all those people who are onboarded, do they have bank accounts or some of them use wallets?
No, so I think if you look at how this has evolved over last 10 years, so there was a time about, I think I'm talking about 2014, about 55% of people in India had a bank account. Today, I can say that about 99% people, or like every adult who like 18 years plus has a bank account. So in our country, using UPI, you can connect your bank account to any of the apps, be it Google Pay, Phone Pay, Amazon Pay, WhatsApp Pay, and you can also connect your wallets to these apps, but mostly the transactions are through bank account. And it's by design, because when you transact through bank accounts, the balances remain with the bank. Banks also are able to see your transaction history, so they can underwrite a loan better. So that it's by design. We are kind of promoting more account-based payments, and it's worked out very well for us if you look at our experience.
Thank you, thank you. I would now ask David to tell us how MasterCard is supporting inclusion in developing markets. And do you see any competition or competition from local players?
My humble opinion, better to cooperate than compete. So, but in general, we see that in our region, in general, not only in Armenia, the biggest gap is how to integrate small businesses, because mostly even the card payment business here, we see that we completely cover retail sector, we completely cover corporate business. Only this missing piece is a small micro business, and it's not about the payments itself, but about the gray economy. So due to this reason, first of all, like countries like Armenia, Georgia, small countries with not much population, first of all, we should show the benefits of our services, because they can sell their services and products globally and expand their audience, which they benefit out of this scale, first of all. And also, I think the financial sector and government itself also like this really nice initiative related to 2%. The government, they should incentivize that they move to the regular business space and get all these benefits, because in general, if we take this, because this is a backbone for our countries, because we have to support and incentivize these small and medium businesses, because there we see the hugest potential. And I think that the companies like we and our colleagues, we may create some value and give them the chance to be more like regional, global players, and be still based in Yerevan or other small towns, but use these technologies to sell their products and services globally.
And do you have any plans for cost efficiency? Because for the businesses you mentioned, one of the key challenges is the commissions. Usually they see 2-3% commission is too high for them.
We are quite flexible, let's say. Point is that, especially in Armenia, there is no interchange which we regulate, because, for example, in Georgia, we have domestic interchange, and for small enterprises, we have like quite low interchange that the banks can provide really quite low commission structure.
Yeah, I guess in Georgia you don't have a similar company like Arca, right? You don't have payments.
No, well, yeah,
Okay.
we are switching traffic there.
So you are somehow replace or filling the niche.
Yes, so,
Yeah,
so
okay.
we in reality are somehow control this, and we can create some incentives toward this business line. For the commission and in general, let's say, yeah, we working really closely with all the financial institutions, including Armenian card, to find a way how to, if there's some pain points, definitely we eager to find solutions. So I hope that we are always open for this, and I think that we will always like reach the goals which benefit the market, and on the other hand, the market will benefit with our technologies.
Thank you, thank you. I would now turn to Denis and would ask about cross-border experience. How can Armenia connect better regionally?
You mean regionally with Caucasus countries, Central Asia countries?
Yeah,
or
even wider, I think, since you have a large regional access and cooperation. Can Armenia through Union Pay have more connections?
Yeah, sure. First of all, let me tell you a few words about Union Pay itself. We have presence in 183 countries, and with issuing in over 80 countries. More than 200 million cards were issued outside the mainland of China. With mainland of China, it's more than almost all payment systems together, as you can imagine. But in terms of integrating with local players, with Armenian card, we are trying our best to cooperate with financial institutions, with banks, and first of all with Armenian card. And promoting our services, our know-hows, because I guess every international payment system has doesn't only provide payment services, but possesses its own industry expertise, and each payment system can bring something special into payment landscape of the country of Armenia. For example, we are quite experienced in QR payments. We have integrated with lots of countries in Southeast Asia region, with countries in Central Asia region. So we have a lot of projects in this area. Also, we have very sophisticated services in money transferring. Our product is called Money Express, and it allows to make online payments to China, to any other countries in Asia, Southeast Asia regions, and everywhere when the issuance of Union Pay is significant.
Is it instant money transfer?
Sorry?
Is it instant money transfer, Money Express?
I didn't get you.
I think it's
Yeah, it's
money
instant, yeah.
remittance is like money.
Yeah, it's instant.
Okay.
It's online service.
My next question is to you, Vartan. What are Arca's priorities for regional and global cooperation?
Thank you for the question. First of all, as I mentioned, we have two payment systems, and we developed two systems parallelly. The first system is our Arca cards. We want to increase Arca cards availability in the world map. We don't want to use our customers can use only in Armenia, and we want that Arca cards our customers can use in other countries. It may be in only the Arca, it can be the Arca with the copay, some international payment systems.
Is it in your 5-year strategy?
Yeah.
How many countries you target?
5 or
Five.
4 or 5.
One
4 or
every year.
5, yes, maybe two a year. We will revise our strategy, as I mentioned.
Is it a too difficult task, a target, to go to another country and be accepted?
Yeah, we have such target, and we are working. Our team works, and as I mentioned.
But is it difficult? I mean, how tough is that?
I think not so difficult. It's difficult to discuss the financial terms.
So
and so
would
on.
we have
I
some
think
days?
nowadays it's not difficult to find I don't know, some company, some payment system in another country. I think it's
But does
not
that
difficult.
mean that if we in few years travel to China or India or to Europe, we can use Arca cards?
Yes.
And we don't need a Master or Visa or Union?
I think we will use our international card payment systems infrastructure, and I don't want to open some brackets. As
Another
I mentioned
surprise.
with
Another surprise.
Yes. It will be the second surprise.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And about the Arca Pay system, now our Armenian commercial banks is doing the integrations with the Arca Pay system. At this time, we have already 10 banks integrated in Arca Pay P2P transfers, and also 7 or already 8 banks integrated in our Arca QR system. I think about 2 or 3 months later, all banks will be already integrated, and will be integrated also with our payment institutions. After that, we will provide our financial institutions our B2B product. It's a new one. The all transactions should go to the instant, as I mentioned, from bank accounts.
You said P2P?
B2B.
B2B.
Business to business.
Okay,
Yes.
so the bank transfers will go there.
Yeah. That's all. And
would you explain why would we need? Why would I use QR instead of, I don't know, Google Pay or Apple Pay or any other?
The first one is instant. It's instant going. You can pay from bank accounts, you can pay from banking card, you can pay from digital wallets.
Yeah, but Google
What
Pay
you
is
want.
also instant. I open my phone, I put it on.
But the for merchant is not instant.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But the for merchant is not instant, and it's more, I think, cheaper for merchants and maybe sometimes for customers. That payment
So
methods.
another surprise through incentives is coming to
Yeah.
use QR instead of Arca,
Yeah.
Google Pay or Apple
Our
Pay.
marketing team is working for that,
Okay.
for introducing more.
So the government is paying these cashbacks?
Yes, from the 1st of January, the government will pay 2% cashback for every purchases which customers do with their Arca cards or Arca Kobage cards and Arca QR.
The same 2% or you have differentiated?
No, 2%.
Maybe for QR you pay more.
No, at this time 2%. At this time the Arca Pay transfers is we have no commission. It's first financial solution, payment or transaction solution in Armenia that is no commission.
Okay, thank you. And I would ask a question to Ritesh. How did MPCI build partnerships across the borders? Maybe you share your experience, how you go global.
So I think if you look at the way we have done things in last 4 or 5 years, we are following where our tourists are currently traveling for merchant payments. And we are connecting with countries where there are, significant amount of Indians living. So I don't know if you all know, but we get about $125 billion as remittances to India from Indians who are living outside. There is also a joke in India that Indians are like potatoes. You will find them in every country. So we have about 30 million Indians who live outside India, and they send about 125 billion. And majority of these remittances today come from countries like United States, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain. So today we are either in active discussions or we have secured contracts, and Singapore as well. So we are today in active discussions or we have secured contracts with NPCI equivalent entities in those markets. So today we are live with Singapore. If you're living in Singapore, you want to send money to India, you can do everything in 15 seconds. So the end-to-end money debit there and credit in bank account in India, and same ways from India to Singapore. So both countries, you can send money in 15 seconds. We are technically live with another country, and we'll announce in due course of time. We have signed agreements with UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. So we are working on connecting their payment systems with ours. So what this would mean in future is that within seconds you can send money to each other's countries and make it very, very fast and quick. And here our objective is to ensure, again, access. Everybody should have access. It should be affordable. The global cost of remittances is about 6%. We want to see how we can bring it down to 2 to 3%. And then at the same time, transparent. One of the biggest challenge today we have is when we send money through SWIFT is you don't know when the other person will get money. 4 days, 5 days, you don't know. So we want to make it instant. We want to ensure that there is access, and then again there is affordability. This is on the remittance side. On the merchant payment side, which is basically catering to Indian tourists, today if you are an Indian and you travel to Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, UAE, Singapore, Mauritius, and some merchants in France and now Qatar as well, you can scan QR codes there and make payment. And these apps are from India like Google Pay and all. You can phone pay, you can make payments, and we are following the model where our tourists are going. And fortunately, we have the strength because in most of these countries, either Indians are #1 travelers. Say for example, to UAE, they are #1 travelers. About 6.5 million people from India travel to UAE. So we are a very important corridor. Same as for Nepal, we are #1 travelers. Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Singapore, we are second highest traveler. So we have this strength, and that's why countries are also interested in connecting with India. And you'll be surprised to hear that 70% of spend still by Indian tourists is cash. So by using this QR-based payments, we are looking at displacing that cash and making it all digital, which is good for the country that they are visiting and definitely good for us as well.
Do you consider only outgoing tourists, or you also look at who is coming to India?
Of course, we are looking at who's coming to India as well. And today, if you are a citizen of Mauritius, you can come to India, scan and pay. And we are in discussions with many countries. Last month in Global FinTech Festival, wherein we signed an agreement with Arca, we also announced our partnership with PayPal. So when this partnership materializes, all the PayPal app holders, when they visit India, they will be able to scan and pay. And similarly, our UPI users will be able to scan and pay at PayPal merchants. So just imagine a PayPal app holder from United States. When he visits India, he can scan 600 million QRs in India and make a payment.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like now to turn to regulatory landscape and maybe start with Vartan. Would you reflect how our law on limiting cash payments affected the payments landscape in Armenia?
I think our regulation is best regulations in the world for non-cash transactions, because about 3 years ago the Parliament of Republic of Armenia approved the non-cash law, and at this stage all merchants in Armenia have a POS terminals and can access the card payments. We have no such merchants that we can't accept card payments at this time, and we create our QR systems. Today, about 2 hours ago, Ruben said in his session that we choose the QR system development first of all in POS terminals, because in our country we have a big network and all merchants have that POS terminals, and we're starting our QR system in dynamic QR. I think about, I don't know, 2 or 3 months later, all our merchants, if they want, they can accept the QR payments also. I think the regulation, I will advise our colleagues from the central bank that they change their regulation for the payment institutions, that payment institution can issue some banking cards, and it will be very transforming change.
Any collaboration with some banks, or?
I think no, not collaboration with some banks. Directly they issue in international practice. They have such experience that in UK or in India they can issue, maybe not payment institutions, fintech companies can issue the banking cards.
With the balance on the card?
Maybe yes, some restrictions should be in that card. That's all that I want to mention.
Do you also measure the usability of payments in Armenia? For instance, in Dilijan, where I'm traveling quite frequently, over last maybe 3 years, it has changed a lot. You can practically avoid cash, except maybe local food, vegetable markets or stores. But everywhere else, you can pay by card. But do you track other cities, towns, and villages? Is it widespread, I mean?
Yes, it's widespread. We are doing some researches every month, knowing in which villages or in which countries they don't want, many merchants we have that they don't want to use, I don't know, cards and other payment solutions. But I think our merchants are changing their minds day by day. And when we saw the transactions going high, already the villages accepted the card payments.
But it's not only laws and regulations directly related to payments or cash that affect payments, right? So, for instance, this year we had a lot of debate over the income declaration, and I think that also affected the usage of cash, since people started worrying that the government is watching them or tracking them. Did you see such effects?
We see such effects, but it a little bit stopping the growth for non-cash. But I think after 3 or 4 months, the growth is going instantly. the people believe Armenian card, that our all solutions that Armenian card gives the payment market is secure and reliable.
Yeah, it's secure, but it's also transparent, right?
Yes, it's
Right. The data is collecting somewhere.
Arca is not giving somebody the cardholder's information. It's cardholder's information and it's secure.
I don't mean Arca, but banking information is now more accessible to government, to state revenue service, right?
I think we should invite from the colleagues.
Yeah, but the law is giving
the other public instead.
Okay, thank you. I would now turn to David. Maybe, David, you can tell us the link or the balance between regulation and innovation. Do you see regulation limiting innovation?
Yes, for sure. Well, I fully support Octa's stance that I see that a lot of small players like fintechs, they need more support to create more competition in the market, considering that they might create niche product, niche services. Yeah, for example, even now crypto is booming in our region. Yes, so mostly fintechs expertise mostly laid in this area than legacy banks. Yeah, due to this reason, I think that central bank could more create the regulation which support these business directions. It's quite interesting topic which like central bank may work. Also, I could also highlight this cashless law which introduced almost 2 years ago. Yeah, it was a quite success case for me even to talk about in our region, because we saw how in a shortcut to move this cash to the POS and transactional business start growing exponentially. Even this case I brought to National Bank of Georgia, saying that how you may transform this with one regulation. Maybe it could be a little bit painful, but at the end everyone can benefit of it. Especially markets like us, which tourism is booming, it's quite needed that all, even small merchant, has capability to accept.
Yeah, for tourists, it's
different payment methods. Yeah, so it's also a good point for them. And as soon as they see the benefits, I think that never will avoid such kind of technological changes. But for sure, the central bank, the government should lead the process. And yeah, because based on their regulation, we as a company also introduce different kind of new technologies. Yeah, because when we enter to the market, first of all, we scan the market, whether our new technology is compliant with local standards, and afterward we introduce these technologies.
Okay, thank you. Ritesh, would you share some stories or some history from India on the policy framework, legal? Are there any frameworks that supported you or maybe hindered your expansion and then you did something?
So I think I'll take a step above and then probably try to zero down on your question. So today, if you look at the success of UPI, our instant payment platform in India, I think there are 2, 3, or maybe 4 primary, factors. One is there was a lot of political will in the country to create sovereign payment platform that will create access for all. And that's how, in early days of platform, we found a very strong alignment with national agenda. And that's what I see here also with this cashback scheme that Vardhan told about. So in India, there's a lot of alignment with the national agenda. And if you see last 10 years of development in India, lots have been achieved in terms of, unlocking the value domestically. And that's where the government has really put a lot of focus on digital. And it's not only digital payments, we have today the digital ID program we call Aadhaar, which has about every Indian participate in it, and using the Aadhaar authentication, you can open a bank account or get access to any credit or a kind of a banking product without having the need to visit. You know, you do biometric authentication, you have access to the financial products. And similarly, we have various other platforms for data exchange, account aggregation, citizen welfare services. Today, if you're in India, you are entitled to some government welfare, it directly gets credited to your bank account. There was a time in 1980s, and one of our prime ministers also said that if I want to send 100 rupees from Delhi to someone living in villages, the person only received 20 because there are people sitting in middle, they take some part of it, and it's corruption, right? So, but with digital today, now if they want to send 100, it is 100 that gets credited to the bank account of the person because everything is digitally connected and there is digital authentication and there are various platforms that today exist in India. So strong alignment with the national agenda of the country. Then our regulator, which is the Reserve Bank of India, is one of the most progressive regulator is what I've seen. And they create policy enablers for fintechs to come and, innovate on top of what today exists. And if you see from our example, the traditional banks are conservative by nature. They are not going to make bold moves and do things that were not done before. But fintechs have that appetite. They are aggressive. They identify opportunities and they are agile. They move fast. So it is because of the regulators' progressive policies that fintechs have come and played a very important role in India. And I'll give you an example. One of the fintechs in India kind of innovated something we call it voice box. So if you, I don't know how many of you have been to India, but we consume a lot of tea. And there are tea sellers who are in the business areas and all, and they, on an average, let's say, serve about, 15 to 20 customers every 15 minutes or so. And imagine a tea seller who is selling tea, and there are like 1 or 2 people managing these stores. So imagine a tea seller who is serving 15, 20 customers every 15 minutes. He has to give them tea. Then he has to collect payment in cash and also return the change. Like in quick service restaurant, they say average handling time. So his average handling time for one customer is very high. So these fintechs came out with a solution that the person is selling tea, and every time a payment is happening through UPI QR, there is a voice box in the merchant's store. It says 10 rupees received, 15 rupees received. So merchant doesn't have to bother about payment because he's listening that I'm getting the money for the sale I'm making. At the same time, he's able to sell more to customers. So it's a small innovation, but it is helping businesses in a big way. So I think finding alignment with national agenda, having a regulator who's progressive and is always, creating enablers for you to embrace new solutions and new technologies. I think these are two very, very important aspects for a payment, platform to be successful.
Thank you. I think we have something similar in some of our gas stations where you fill the gasoline. It announces how much was filled, maybe to control people working there. And maybe one follow-up question with you. Do you measure the macro impact of the payment infrastructure, how it affected overall the economic growth in India?
No, absolutely. I think that's a great question. And we do that. And I think for those of you who are interested, we recently IMF actually did a research paper on UPI and its success and scale in India. I also participated in annual meetings in Washington, and we talked about that research paper, the value it created. 2 weeks back, South Africa has a G20 presidency. They also released a white paper on the importance of digital payments platform in India and also in some of the markets in Africa. So yes, we do measure, and it has had a great impact on the macroeconomic factors. It has supported rural economies. It has enabled women entrepreneurs in our country to be able to, sell more and generate more income. In any country, 50% of the workforce is women workforce. So it has driven inclusion in that sense. And at the same time, you look at tax collections, the economy is getting formalized from being informal. And I think genuinely people believe in the goodness, but you have to create enablers for them. If you make tax compliance very strict and very complicated, then people try to move away from that and they try to find ways to shortcut it. But if you make it easy for people to comply with tax and all, I think people genuinely want to be good citizen. So we have seen our tax collection rates are growing, and you guys can Google or you go to ChatGPT if you're using that now, and see how tax collections in India is growing, how economy is being formalized, how women entrepreneurs are creating. We are one of the most active IPO market in the world today, and a lot of these fintechs are now going for public listing. One last comment before I hand it over to you. December 2024, the fintech market valuation for India was about $111 billion, if I remember correctly. They're saying by December 2029, it is going to be about $425 billion. So it is growing at more than 25% growth every year. So you can only see how fintechs are, creating more value, and it's there for everyone to see.
Thank you. Thank you. That is very encouraging, I would say. I would like to wrap up our discussion before we maybe take some questions from the audience. Vartan, how do you see the future in like 3 to 5 years? You said you have strategy, but any like vision, not maybe concrete steps, but the vision of Arca in 3 to 5 years?
I think the Arca, after 5 years, should provide the solutions that every customer in Armenia, residents, can bind their bank accounts in, I don't know, in Google Wallet, and I don't know, all such solutions, maybe in WhatsApp, such as Ritesh mentioned. I think it will be transformation in payment in Armenia, and about the international payment systems like MasterCard, Visa, China UnionPay, they all have such payment solutions, and we should have such a integration with them. And I think from the cards, the market should go to the banking accounts, and that solution should be instant, secured, and reliable.
And do you see fintech developing in Armenia, or it will be largely by bank
No,
dominated?
No, we see the fintech development, and in next year we want to create some environment in Arca for fintechs, that they can some isolated environment.
Like sandbox?
Not like sandbox, but isolated environment for fintech companies, that they came and play with APIs, with e-commerce, and all solutions that we provide to our banks and payment institutions. We want to give our fintech companies such solutions.
David, how do you see the global-local balance going forward for coming 3 to 5 years?
It's a really difficult question. I think it's...
Just vision, I don't mean details.
I think that we have to live in a hybrid environment. There will be, we see that more and more local players will strengthen their position, but global players also create value. Mostly I see from cybers and intelligence space and new technologies, because still these global companies have capability to scale the innovation in an accelerated phase, and also at the end the customer is a king, and we're trying our best to create the best user experience, and up to them, which depend on the situation, which payment method for them will be more convenient and accessible. So this is, I think,
Thank you.
And we are moving toward this direction.
Thank you. A similar question to you, Denise. What is your prediction for cross-border payments in the region?
I think that different form factors will develop in different markets. Cards will remain, QRs will get the widespread, and there are also some biometric functions will come into stage. And in terms of
like fingerprints or
I guess you want to hear something about inter-country integrations in the region. To be fair, after the certain events of 2022, most of the countries had to realize the necessity of creating their own local settlement, and that's why what we see now is rapid development of local payment systems in almost all of the countries in the region. And of course, these systems will try to integrate with each other to have a better network and to get rid of dependence of international payment systems.
But what if you have different connections and they contradict each other? Like
why so?
Geopolitical, as you said.
Yeah. Geopolitically, the local banking systems want to get rid of the dependence of international players.
Yeah, but we are talking about integration, right? So
yeah, integration
between
between each other and with international payment systems as well.
Okay, thank you. And I would kindly ask Ritesh to conclude. What is your vision on ecosystem in 2030?
So I think in today's times, like you said, it's very difficult to predict future because so many changes happening. But from today, what we know, I think one is we are looking at connecting with the significant significant cross-border flows, and we have identified those countries. So we not only want to connect, but we want to bring in scale. That will be one. The other is we are also today working with many countries to help them create their own sovereign platforms. So today, if you look at Peru, Namibia, Trinidad and Tobago, UAE, Mauritius, they've used our technology to create their own instant payments or their own card schemes. So we are also now using the technology that has been developed and deployed at scale in India to help other countries, create their own sovereign platforms. That is happening. We are also doing a CBDC pilot in India. So today I was showing it to Vardhan how CBDC works in India. So I can use my central bank digital currency to scan a UPI QR and make payment. So today, a lot of countries are also interested in that, so we are doing that. We also have a B2B platform called Bharat Connect, wherein we are making businesses receive money easily. So I think some of these technologies will come to fore. Talking of consumer trend, I think we are very bullish about voice-based commerce. So I think in future, we will probably see more voice-based transactions. For example, I telling, hey Siri, order milk for me, and then the transaction then happens. So I think voice-based will be a big one. In GFF earlier last month, we also did UPI transaction using Meta glasses. So you may also see in future, how you are transacting using Meta. I think youngsters anyways are spending so much time digitally that, if you are standing in front of them, they remove their earplugs to look at you. I think that's a sign of respect. So I think a lot of new, these forms will come in. As a network, we will be active in many corridors and we'll be working with many countries to help them be sovereign in their payment ecosystems.
Thank you. I think that is very insightful, very helpful on a global scale. And with this note, I would open the floor for questions from audience if we have. Five minutes?
If there is no question from the audience, I have a couple of them to use my privilege as a host, so that's why I was raising my hand. So I know seeing this from a host means 5 minutes. No, we still have 30 minutes, 25 minutes, so it's fine.
He's the boss. He said 1 hour.
Well, if Arca says, then it's okay.
So do you have a question for us?
Yes,
Please
I do.
Go ahead, please.
All right. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for the very important and very interesting data sharing with us. Actually, it's a couple of questions addressed to a couple of speakers, if you don't mind, and if the audience doesn't mind. It's not that I've prepared for those questions, but it was just really interesting. And I used to run a marketing department of one of the local banks here in Armenia. So it's really very interesting just to come up with a couple of questions. First of all, my question is addressed to Vardan. Vardanjan, thank you very much for all that information. We're all looking forward to hear about the surprises, of course. But other than that, I know that several banks have stopped using the data processing service of Arca. I wonder what it means and whether you see any tendency there, and whether you think in future there will be more banks detaching from Arca's data processing, and what it means to Arca and what it means to Armenia. This would be the question for you. David, I would really love to know about the penetration rate when it comes to the region. Like, what is the penetration rate of the MasterCard in Armenia, Georgia, just to some comparison. And probably a little bit of elaboration, if it concerns you, of course, about the political turbulences, which definitely impact on the economy. I wonder what's the international law on the agents in Georgia, has any implications on your business. It's really interesting to hear. And Ritesh, I'm a big fan of masala chai, by the way. I was in Delhi, and you're right. I mean, the number of the teas that are being delivered, it's really crazy. And it's lovely. It's not crazy. It's just beautiful. But at the same time, I was in a local market in Delhi, and I was buying just one coconut, and I had the chance to pay again by card. I was super surprised, and I became really happy. But my friends and also the merchant, was not really happy about that. His reaction was like, you know, rich people become richer, and we stay in the same position. How would you explain it? This might be just kind of a misunderstanding, definitely, but I think there is something that we could probably learn more. I'm sorry, Denis, I have no question for you. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. As I mentioned in the first of this panel discussion, the Arca is not a card processing company nowadays. Arca is the operator of Arca scheme cards. Arca is a card processing company. Arca providing the banks and payment institutions more value-added services. And Arca is a second payment instant system and already have a unified QR system. These banks who wants to go and create their processing centers, also the Arca should give all switching connections to other banks. That banks should connect with the Arca system for connecting with other commercial banks. Yeah. And that without Arca, I think it will be hard for them to do card processing, and their issued cards will be accessible in other POS terminals and ATMs. I think it's not hard for Arca. I think after 2 or 3 years, it will be more harder for them.
So before I answer your question, is that a philosophical question or a payment-related question? Rich getting richer?
Well, I was in your country, first of all, for philosophy, so let's approach it from a philosophical perspective.
So, rich getting richer, I don't know, it's a free market, so anybody who's working hard has a bright, sparkling idea will definitely make money. And if you follow the stock market there, you know, one of my close friend who used to work with me, I used to work with Visa in India. His company is going for listing, and he's already talking of retiring, and he's younger than me. So it's your hard work, you know, if you work hard, given it's a free market, you will make money. Now, let me also, I'm from payments, so I have to answer it from payment side. I think this person, if I can, with the limited information that you've given me, must be complaining because he has to pay the MDR, merchant discount rate, or probably interchange on cards. Maybe that's the reason he was frustrated that rich are getting richer, and why is he being tasked to pay from his margin that he's making limited money. So I think it's for these merchants that we have, they are the force behind UPI's success. So you'll be happy to hear that there are 9 million POS terminals in India, 9 million POS where you can pay through cards, our own cards, RuPay or Visa, MasterCard, or even Union Pay. And there are 600 million QR points in the country. So it's this sheer scale, because today, as we speak, UPI doesn't charge businesses for accepting digital payments. And probably if you had paid through UPI to this merchant, he wouldn't have complained. But the dynamics of cards business are different, and one has to pay. But at the same time, we are mindful of the requirements. There's this, the businesses, small businesses, and this single owner businesses have, and that's why UPI has been very well adapted. So next time when you come to India, please let us know. We will get you connected on a UPI app, and then you can freely use and pay everywhere.
I will start from Georgia. Yeah. I don't want to enter to this political turbulence which we have, but point is that the payments in reality it's a commodity nowadays. So I cannot say that somehow impact to business at all because we have quite strong growth year by year. Considering everyone knows that there is a strong, really strong financial institution in the markets. We have duopoly there. And they quite heavily investing to provide these payment capabilities in the country, and due to this reason I think that there is no alternative payment methods at all in Georgia, so everyone is happy with this payment user experience. In Georgia we have quite strong position as a MasterCard since years. But also a good point is that as a global company, MasterCard understood that they have to increase their presence locally. Due to this vision, several years ago, they established office in Tbilisi, and we're still growing. From this year, legally, representative office already established in Armenia, so legally MasterCard already registered with the Armenian tax revenue system. And we have ambitions to grow and ambitious to cooperate with Armenian card for sure. And we see big opportunities, considering that, as I highlighted, that our country is quite strong in tourist business, and tourists need to have different payment options, and we see that on that front we may create really nice environment to be on the front on the market. In general, I can say that our region is quite strong in a payment development because always we are quite small markets, but the penetration, card penetration, it's quite in a bigger scale. Yeah, if we comparing even Central Asia or other countries, Georgia, Armenia, always even Apple Pay, Google Pay, they are growing quite aggressively in our market. So in general, population are quite open for new technologies. Due to this reason, I see that even Arca Pay, as mentioning that they are growing really in an accelerated phase. It's showing us that people are eager to play and find new ways how to pay. So I see big opportunities ahead and eager to support.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's time for coffee. I would like to thank all my esteemed panelists. As a former central banker, I'm delighted to see that Arca is growing and becoming not only a backbone of financial sovereignty, but also for innovation, going beyond just a card processing company to providing all financial infrastructure. And congratulations with that, Vartan. And also thanks to our colleagues from MPCI, UnionPay and MasterCard. We see that Arca is also expanding the existing network and collaboration, but also bringing new avenues of collaboration. Thank you, gentlemen.
Let's give a big round of applause to our gentlemen, and please don't leave the stage because we got certificates for you. We're sure that you haven't received certificates for years, so this would be something to remember. All right, and we're going to also have a group photo in a moment, but just before you leave the stage, let's give another big, not the stage, the hall, another big round of applause to our guests. All right, so we're taking the photo. I think the cameraman is doing so. I guess so. But just in case, let me do it by my own. Just 1 second, because I think the photographer is busy in the second hall. Thank you. And the music fits very well this photo. I made the photo with Arca. All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you, Arajan, for the moderation, the great moderation. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen,